Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and it is that time once again. So, I welcome all of you back to our Metallica discography. So, allow me to give you guys a little bit of a fun insight as to just sort of how these videos are done. So, by the time you're seeing these, I usually release these at least twice a day. So far, so good. In terms of recording these, however, I record on average, since I started doing this a few days ago, half an album a day, and now we're on to the back half of Metallica. So it means that it could be anywhere from 5 to 4 songs a day. But by the time we're done, we would have gone through 2 Metallica albums in the span of 4 days, insofar as recording is concerned, and which is really good because, to be honest, listening to this, even probably for the last time, I'm just sort of, I'm having fun. I am loving this. Because guess what? It means you get to listen to Metallica from the very beginning all the way until the present day. I mean, where can you go wrong with that? But aside from all of that, why are we doing this again for the last time, as I said? So, what I plan on doing to keep all of you guys up to speed is that on Christmas Day of this year, I plan on releasing a video called every single Metallica song ranked from worst to best. And it's probably the easiest way to put a little bow on this epic adventure, probably once and for all, in the way that probably makes sense. But that's still quite a long way away, and in order to get that far, I had no other option but to do 60 songs in May, and then 60 songs again in October, which should equate very, very neatly to 120 over 2 months to do this. So, a fair bit of time has been dedicated to this little adventure, but what a journey this has been so far, because so far, the first 4 songs we've covered in Ride the Lightning, I'd say are all top 10 material. And I'll explain what I mean by top 10 by the end of this. And whilst I think the second half is maybe top 30 at the very, very least, because you really have to go a distance, and even though it's a pretty obvious answer for what does get the wooden spoon on Ride the Lightning, it's still a part of probably, pound for pound, the greatest Metallica album they ever did. But that's wildly up for debate. But in the meantime, let's kick back, if you will, because even though it's the middle of spring, we're still fighting like demons trapped under ice. I can't take anymore. once again, ladies and gentlemen, the thought of this one actually might be a bit harder than I might have realized, because I low key think Trapped Under Ice is awesome. However, now we sort of like have to explain a little bit more about what I mean by top 10, because, well, let me phrase it to you like this. I originally had the idea of going on to tier, which I did, by the way. What I did is I went on Tier Maker, and I pretty much did tiers specifically for every single Metallica song, and I thought to myself, well, we can come back and change this in due course, because I already had it pretty mapped out about what I think the tier list will look like. But having these things fresh in my mind is probably the best way to come to some sort of arrangement, so to speak, about whether or not I want to move certain things. And so far in this discography, we have moved and shuffled a few things back and forth. So that brings us to the question of Trapped Under Ice. So this is probably going to be a bit It's an interesting one, because I did initially rank it quite high. I'm gonna move it maybe one step ahead of where it was. So on the whole, I think Trapped Under Ice is better than Fixer, but I think it's sort of like maybe one behind 72 Seasons. So yeah, I think it can sit itself quite comfortably where it is. And so far, 5 songs from Ride the Lightning, and they are very, very high up on the list, which I know that's kind of a little bit to be expected. However, there are still at least 3 other songs to go, and I think the placements on them is going to probably cause even more confusion, because quite frankly, I know what probably isn't going to be quite as high, and I know one that is, but there is also one I'm pretty uncertain of. So let's find out what it is, eh? So with all that being said and done, I hope all of you guys enjoyed, and I will see all of you guys again next time. Thank you.